Mita Deka, a 63-year-old woman, is anxiously waiting for her son-in-law. The minutes seem to stretch endlessly, testing her patience. Today, she had come for a post-surgery checkup at the 6-mile branch of GNRC hospital. Not long ago, she had spent several days in this very hospital, and now she couldn't bear the thought of staying another minute. But she had no choice. She and her daughter couldn't even consider taking a cab home. They felt trapped, surrounded by flooded streets filled with muddy water. Buses were nowhere in sight, and catching a rickshaw was almost impossible. Helpless and stranded, they could only wait, hoping for the water to recede and their escape to finally come. Mohan, a proud self-made man, sells mirrors at a small stall beneath the Ganeshkuri flyover. His shop, just a simple setup on the footpath, is his pride. He always boasts that the table where he displays his mirrors is his own. But today, Mohan had to close his shop early. However, this wasn't his real problem. Normally, he stores his mirrors in the corridor of a nearby garment shop, Dangor Babu. The shop owner has always been kind enough to allow this, but today the corridor is flooded with caramel-colored water, leaving Mohan clueless. The workers in the garment shop are struggling to keep the water from damaging their goods. Mohan, however, is left wondering how to save his precious mirrors. The Pear Tree, a poorly rated hotel on Zoo Road, rarely gets positive reviews. But today, this hotel is playing the role of a savior. All roads leading to the hotel are flooded. People stranded on Zoo Road have no options. They either stay where they are or brave the floods. The newly constructed Zoo Road flyover is a refuge for anyone with a vehicle. Cars, buses and bikes are packed everywhere, but no one can move. Those who tried to move faced damages. The hotel receptionist was stunned today. The policy of not renting to locals was causing problems. People were desperate for rooms. The hotel had 14 rooms, and for the first time in a long while, it's fully booked. The kitchen is getting orders, but they can only prepare basic food. There's no way to get anything special. The most surprising part of the day, the receptionist is still receiving requests for rooms. She even rented out a staff room, and she knows more inquiries are likely to come. On August 5th, heavy rains caused serious flooding in many parts of Guwahati. The amount of rainfall recorded in different areas was very high. Rehabari had 63 mm, Gandhi Mandap had 76 mm, Chandmari had 109.98 mm, Khanapara had 132 mm, Boikisto had 125 mm, and Pandu had 85.09 mm. These heavy rains led to waterloggings that surprised and worried many people in the city. Guwahati is a city located on the banks of the Brahmaputra River, with many smaller rivers flowing through it. The city has grown very fast, but this growth has not been well planned. This has caused harm to the environment and the natural surroundings. Floods usually happen because of heavy rain, which is a natural event. However, not all floods in Guwahati are natural. Over time, quick floods known as flash floods have started happening more often. The Guwahati Municipal Corporation area lies between the big Brahmaputra River in the north and the hills of Meghalaya in the south. There are small hills and flat lands in between. The northern part of the city is separated from the Brahmaputra by the hills of Kharguli, Nobogroho and the Kamakhya. Two small rivers, Bharalu and Bondajan, flow through the flat land and into the Brahmaputra. Guwahati's drainage system, which helps remove excess water, mainly depends on natural water channels. Sadly, these channels are often blocked with garbage, waste and sewage. The city doesn't have a proper drainage system to handle all the sewage and wastewater, making these natural channels very important. The existing natural drain channels are Bharalu Bahini River System, More Bharalu River, River Boykisto, Lakhimizan Channel, Bondajan Channel, Khonajan River and Kalmoni River.
Apart from natural drainage, Guwahati city has a large number of ponds, swamps and marshes. There is the Hilhakubil, the Diporbil, Digholi Pukhuri, Hil Pukhuri, Nakpota Pukhuri, etc. and these all act as balancing reservoirs.
Currently, Guwahati city bears the burden of a huge population. According to a survey, the city has a 6.5 times higher population compared to 2001. Sustaining daily activities of such a population requires planning, and Guwahati city is devoid of it. Guwahati currently lacks a full sewer system, except in certain areas like the railway colonies, oil refinery colonies, and defense residential areas, which have their own sewer and treatment facilities. Most of the city doesn't even have such systems. Instead, septic tanks are commonly used to manage wastewater. However, these tanks aren't enough to handle all the waste. As a result, a significant amount of wastewater from homes and other places in the city is released directly into the river without proper treatment, which can harm the environment and public health.
The main cause of urban flooding or waterlogging in the Guwahati city is actually the population. The population of the city lacks the civic sense. The construction that took place in the entire city in the last 20 to 25 years has been majorly unplanned. Even the construction sites don't have a sustainable plan. When we say drainage system, it is not exactly the locally used term for drains. It is not even a sewage system. But then these are water routes that collects the excess water and joins to the main river. In this scenario, these are actually smaller rivers that flows within the city or an area and connects to the main river, and then they deposit the excess water that is collected within the city.
Bharalu is the primary drainage course for most of the eastern and southern part of Guwahati. Bharalu is joined by several drainage of storm waters. The Bharalu catchment area is covered by the GN Bordoloi Road in the north from Chandmari to Bharalu, RG Parwa Road in the east including the Chandmari flyover, GS Road in the south and southwest from Dispur to Ulubari, Lokpriya Bordoloi Road up to Sabipul and the road along the Bharalu River reaching Kumarpara Pasali. There are several prominent secondary drains which serve the Bharalu catchment area. Example, the Lasit Nagar area storm drain or the RG Barua Road drain in Zunarangi.
As the name suggests, these storm drains carry the excess water accumulated in a part of the city, and then via a channel, it connects to the main drainage system. In this case, it is the Bharalu River that connects to the river Brahmaputra. The existence of these storm drains are mainly because it helps to prevent any such causes of flooding.
Extended stretches of several drains are clogged with silt and garbage. Storm runoff from adjoining hills and the runoff carries huge loads of silt and vegetation, which ultimately gets deposited within the drains, severely restricting the flow. Several of the manholes have been paved over by a layer of bitumen during the road construction. Some of the existing manholes were found to be damaged or broken. Sometimes manhole openings are really inadequate for manual cleaning. Since waterlogging in Guwahati is a problem and not a disaster, there is a solution to address the problem if one approaches scientifically. Dredging of the Bharalu. Water in a bowl would be drained out due to gravity if a hole is made at the bottom of it. Guwahati too is like a bowl surrounded by hills, and there are many bowl-type low-lying localities where water accumulates from the surrounding areas. The God-gifted Bharalu River can be utilized as a whole through proper dredging and deepening. Stormwater drainage. 2 new stormwater drainage systems can be created, or the previously existing ones can be cleaned continuously so that the water flow remains constant. Hil Hakubil and Diporbil. Desilting, deepening and widening works after the eviction of encroachment have already been taken up by the departments concerned. These actions will also enhance the water retention capacity of the water bodies as well as protect and nurture the bird sanctuaries. They will also create the opportunities to promote pisciculture, water sports, and natural tourism. Plan constructions. A detailed scrutiny has to take place before a construction plan is taken into action. Adjustments to the previously constructed sites should be made wherever possible. The people concerned with flood in the area will also understand their faulty planning and will soon understand the necessity of sustainability. Hydroelectric Dam Project. The Meghalaya rainwater can be diverted to the river Digaru and finally to the Brahmaputra through its tributary Kolong by establishing a hydroelectric dam project. Today, the heavy rains on August 5 brought Guwahati to a standstill. It revealed the city's struggle with flooding. From Mita Deka's helpless wait at the hospital to Mohan's concern for his business and the crowded refuge at the Pear Tree Hotel, these incidents show how deeply the floods affected daily life.
It would have been amazing if these things were not true. I would have actually appreciated if these incidents were mere stories.
Guwahati's unplanned growth and poor drainage system have made the city vulnerable to floods. To prevent future disasters, the city needs to take action. All we can do now is wait for the administration to create some changes within the city, make strict rules and regulations, and spread public awareness to take charge of the phenomenon called urban flooding.